What you see is what you get, WYSIWYG, is a myth. The digital graphics, animations, and composites that you see on your screen are never what your viewers get. Whether you're producing video that will be viewed on a television set, or laying out pages to be printed, getting accurate colors is very difficult, especially when you don't always have complete control over the method of distribution. In this segment, we're going to look at digital media and color space as we try to get color right in the printed world once and for all. This is TechKnow. No matter how baffling modern technology can seem, multimedia design used to be much more difficult than it is today. Broadcast engineers and print designers really had to have a lot of expertise to get any results at all. Modern editing software now takes care of a lot of this automatically, which is great, but unfortunately it also means that creative professionals are sometimes unequipped to recognize and solve issues that come up. Color in the real world is measured in very straightforward terms of the wavelength of light. 700 nanometer wavelength light is very red in color, while 400 nanometers is violet. Accurately reproducing colors on the printed page is a completely different and somewhat complex story, however. And moving from a computer monitor to the printed page involves complexities like calibrating the monitor properly and getting the temperature of the ink just right. As we all learned in grade school, light can be broken up into separate colors, and all of the colors of the rainbow can be created from a few primary colors on our paint palette. If we take our primary colors from grade school, red, yellow, blue, and we mix them together, what do we get? Well, red plus blue equals purple, red plus yellow equals orange, yellow plus blue equals green, and red plus yellow plus blue equals black. The reason this works this way is really not all that hard to understand. When we see an object that is painted red, we are seeing light that is being reflected off of that object. All of the other colors are being absorbed. When we mix in other paints, blue, which reflects blue light, but not red very well, and yellow, which also doesn't reflect red very well, we end up with paint that doesn't reflect any color very well. Mixing paints together is a subtractive color mixing process. Color from a luminous light source is completely different. Sir Isaac Newton proved in the 17th century that light is composed of all of the different colors of the rainbow mixed together. While it's obvious that a prism creates a rainbow spectrum, before Newton it was not obvious whether the rainbow of colors was an inherent part of the light or whether it was something that the prism did to the light. By isolating a single color of light and passing it through another prism, Newton proved that green light, for example, really was green. Newton didn't exactly have ready access to convenient electric light sources of different colors, but we do today. If we mix together some primary colors of light, let's say red plus green plus blue, we get white. Mixing light together is an additive color mixing process. So here's our fundamental problem. When we're working with our images in our desktop publishing applications and image editing software, we're working in the RGB color space, which is additive. But when we send our documents to the printer or just click the print button, we're working with inks in a subtractive color space. There's no getting around the translation and conversion, so the trick is to figure out how to estimate on a computer monitor the mixing of color in a subtractive color space on a printed page. In our subtractive example here, we used primary colors we all learned in primary school, red, blue, and yellow. When printing with inks, different fundamental colors are used: cyan, magenta, and yellow. Theoretically, mixing these three colors together yields black. On a perfect digital computer, this is true. In the real world, you get sort of a dark, muddy puce color. So whether you're painting a picture or just printing one, a true black is a nice extra color to have in your palette. And so we have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, or CMYK, which is the 4 color space we most commonly work with in our printed media. The K, or key separation, in the CMYK color space is important for reproducing dark areas accurately, stabilizing the color balance, and also for conserving ink. Why does any of this matter? Well, one reason is that your digital camera probably shoots RGB, and you will probably be printing your photos in a 4-color process. You can convert your digital photos into the CMYK color space while you're editing, which will give you a better idea of how your image will print. Another place where this is important is when using our Juice Drops layered graphics, which come in PSD layered Photoshop format, RGB, and CMYK versions. If you don't need the layers, you can use the flattened RGB files for video and for the web. And for printing, you should go ahead and use the CMYK versions. In the end, there really isn't any substitute for experience with printing images, even experience with a particular printer or print shop. And none of what we talked about here matters at all if your computer monitor is not carefully calibrated. But that is a topic for another segment. For now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on TechKnow.